Hey everybody, welcome back to FSP Forex Stock Predictions. Hope you are all having a great day. Today, I would just like to backtest an order block position that I was in yesterday and show you how I found it. I know that some of you may be a little bit unsure or uncertain as to how we find these order block setups. So I want to try and make it as clear as possible to help you guys understand how I trade my order block setups. So we are on the Euro USD and I am just going to jump to the daily time frame. All right, so let's zoom out. We can see that price has been doing nothing but moving downwards since the 31st of March. No, let me correct that, even higher. Since the 10th of February, right, we have seen nothing but bearish price movement, all right, for the last few months. Now, I found my order block in this area right here. Okay, we could see that there was a trend line that was descending, which has been respected, right, since the 1st of April. One tap, two taps, right? So, yes, the momentum is still bearish, and this is a counter trend setup. However, there is some space. If you believe in trend lines, right, there is a little bit of room here for price to move. All right, so with that in mind, let's jump to the 4-hour time frame. Come on, there we go. Right, now I have obviously rewinded this chart on TradingView so I can explain exactly how I see these setups. Okay, so price impulsively moves down, right? Forms a new low. Now let's watch and see what price does. Okay. Okay. So far what I'm noticing, let's pause that, is that we have a resistance up here. Right? Why do we have a resistance up here? That's because price came down to this exact zone. The candle closed above it, treating it as support. Next candle breaks below exactly on this line. Okay? Within the next few candles, tries to come back up and punch above it, fails. All right, so now we have a resistance of sorts. All right, let's keep it simple. We have a resistance right here. Okay, and we are waiting to see if price can break it or not. Let's continue. There we go again. You see, price wicked into this line, could not break it. All right, came back down here. We also have some sort of support because now we have price bouncing in between these two regions. Yes? One tap, two taps at the top. One tap, two tap, three taps. Right, let's continue. Again, next candle still cannot break this resistance. Let's continue. Right, next candle, next candle, next candle. Still cannot break this resistance. So now we know, right? This is officially a line of resistance which price cannot break. It's struggling, right? It's struggling to break. Okay, we're ignoring the MACD for now, right? And we're ignoring volume. We're just watching price. Right, let's see what it does. Let's continue. Aha. All right, let's pause there. So now let's see what happened. Price impulsively broke and closed above this line of resistance. So now we have an area of interest, right? Because price impulsively closed above this line that it was struggling to break above, right, for a while, for 2 days. Okay, this was over the weekend, right? But price was struggling to break above this area and it finally did. Great. Now, what would I do? I would highlight, in this case, my most recent bearish candle before the bullish impulsive break. Okay, I always make my order block zones yellow while I wait for price to retrace back into the zone. Okay, now those of you who know how I trade order blocks is that I always like to get an RR of 1 to 4. But I know that there is that trend line up above on the daily time frame. I know there is some space to move. We have some resistance up here. So if I had to put a position setting in, let's see how we could potentially do if this would retrace back into the zone. Right. I like to put my stop just a couple of pips below my order block zone. My entries at the halfway point. Right. And I always like to aim for a 1 to 4 at least. So now if I'm aiming for a 1 to 4 here, I can see that price potentially will, what I am expecting it to do is break just above it, just a little bit. Even if it pushes up high before retracing all the way back down, right? Price does not generally respect trend lines pinpointed perfectly with a wick, right? There are orders up in these zones, and institutions and market makers know this. So they would generally push the price a couple of pips more over resistance or under support in order to collect more liquidity. Right. So this is my setup. Now I am waiting for price to return to my entry zone, which is the halfway mark of my yellow box right there. Okay. I'm then going to be entering into my long position and trailing price all the way up to the 1.04, we can call it 8 level. Okay, 1.048 level. Right. Let's carry on playing. Let's see what happens. Okay, so now we can see we had price come all the way down past my entry, right, to the bottom of this yellow box, almost hitting the stop loss if it continued. However, it didn't do that, right? So now we are in this position, all right? Let's continue. Right, now we can see price is moving along in our favor. There we go. And we can see that price came all the way up and actually passed the RR of 1 to 4, and so far is sitting on a 1 to 4.6, but that doesn't matter because I take profits at a 1 to 4. Okay, if there's an opportunity for me to get an RR of 1 to 4, you can sure bet that I am definitely taking profits at a 1 to 4. Trade is done, trade is closed, finished. You see, this is how I trade these order blocks. I like to keep it as simple as possible. Now, yes, I do incorporate volume, right? And I do use the Bollinger Bands if the market is ranging, right? That I can explain in another video. However, for simplicity purposes, I promise you this. If you would backtest just this sort of strategy, you will find success with it. You have to remember, we have to watch for price to break above previous resistance, right? Break and close above it significantly before we wait for our pullback. Right, it's not rocket science. It's simply break and retest, right? Impulsively break, wait for the pullback. Impulsively break, wait for the pullback. That's all I'm doing, right? So I hope this makes sense to you guys. If it doesn't, or if you have any comments whatsoever, please put it down below in the comment section and I will be sure to get back to you. Would love to hear from you. I know the order block strategies are very popular and there are numerous ways of trading these bad boys. There really are. There are a lot of ways in trading these. So any comments, please post them below and I will definitely get back to you. Let's wrap this thing up. Thanks again very much for watching. And I will be seeing you all on the next one. Bye.